Good morning, friends. So it's about 6:30 a.m. and we're on the road in a smoke storm. Like I'm pretty sure the sun's out there somewhere, but you can't tell. Looks like the apocalypse. Anyway, this guy bought a replacement for his Blaze Actor and decided that we would get up at the butt crack of dawn, drive across the state together so that he could drive it back, which means that I have to drive back too. So it's like 11 hours of driving so that he can pick up another vehicle.
Yep. We got a 2005 2500 HD, 6-liter, 5-speed, standard cab, long bed obviously truck. So we're going to pick it up. It's an old DNR truck. Pretty rare manual truck, but you can't go with another automatic. That's what caused our problem last time.
Yes, reason 437 why Gavin hates automatics.
We're driving an automatic right now, though.
If it's any consolation, it's my automatic, because I don't hate automatics. I'm a lazy driver. That's it. We'll keep you updated. I'm sure there'll be many more videos of this truck to come. After all, he has to install a plow on it before it snows. Probably apocalyptic levels, because it's 2020.
Okay, welcome back. It's been a little while, and we are back in a familiar place. I still have yet to take everything out of here. I'm still trying to get everything ready for it. We're all packaged up, but ready to go. But we're going to do one last project in here, really quick, as fast as I can, because my plow truck burned up. If you pay attention, have been watching the other videos. So I need a new plow truck. Winter's coming, and so I bought a new plow truck. I got it at an auction. It's a 2005 Silverado 2500 HD. And here is all the stuff that we're going to be putting on it. We got a Western V-Plow. It's a Pro V. It's in these two boxes. It's a cradle. It's a quick connect thing. Who knows? It's going to be cool, I guess. I don't know. It's a plow. Plowing sucks. But it's not my favorite thing to do at all. We are going to put a stereo in it, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I really could care less, is I wanted the screens for a backup. We're going to be wiring a backup camera in. I'm going to be putting a diode in and an auxiliary switch so that I can turn on the reverse lights and leave them on, so that it will be basically in reverse according to the screen and everything else, so that my camera is always on, because when you're plowing, you're just going forward and backward. And you always want to kind of pay attention, because I can't tell you how many times I've had someone pull right behind you. Push into a pile, they'll pull right behind you. And it's like, come on, guy, you obviously know what I'm doing, but they don't. So people are dumb. Just watch out if you decide you want to plow. There is good money in plowing, but if you need to do it, I don't do it as a contractor. I do it just on our businesses. In our house. So we're going to be doing stereo, backup camera. I got the wiring, metric kit, Alpine W650. It's nothing super special, but it's not like a cheap imitation one either. We're going to be running these work lights on the back. And so I'll probably have two pointing straight back, and then two kind of at a 45, so when you're looking in your mirror you have a lot of light. I'm usually doing this at like 4 in the morning, so it tends to be dark, and so I want everything as bright as I can, because the last thing in the world you want to do is run somebody over. Even if they were dumb and pulled behind you or walked behind you, you don't want to be pulling them over or running them over. The tail lights on the truck, which I'll show you here in just a second, are really rough, so we're going to replace the tail lights. Really easy to do. That's even if you're not mechanically inclined at all, you can handle that, I promise you. We are going to put an intake on it, because the thing drives me nuts because it's so quiet. You can't hear it run, and it's a manual. It's 5-speed. NV4500 behind a 6-liter LS motor. Kind of a cool setup that not very many of them got that, but this one did. Factory 2005. So we're going to be putting it's a Volant, I guess, however you say it. I liked it because it still used the inner fender ducting for the intake. It wasn't an open element in the engine compartment, which anytime you see a cold air intake and they're taking the ducting from outside the engine compartment and moving it inside the engine compartment, it's not cold air, so I wouldn't trust that. We're going to put plugs, wires, and coils on it. It has 150,000 miles. It's an old DNR truck, which is Washington's, I don't know if they call it that, it's Department of Natural Resources. So it was basically used out in the trees in the forest land, so it's real scratched up and stuff, so I don't have to feel bad about it being my work truck, which is nice. But anyway, we're going to put coils, wires, and plugs in it. It does have a slight miss, it feels like. I bought it at auction, so you never know what you're going to get. It has a slight miss, and then every once in a while the check engine light comes on. I've been driving it a lot to try to get a feel for it. And I actually really like the truck. Standard cab, long bed, 2500 truck. So it feels like a micro truck compared to everything I'm used to, but it is a full-size HD truck. We're going to change the oil, service it, that type of stuff. All this stuff down here is all parts that make this Western V-Plow. It's an 8.5 foot V-Plow. Make it fit that Silverado, so that's what all that stuff is. And then here's a little bit of a gamble, and actually this, I'm probably going to break this up into multiple episodes. In fact, I know I am. This is a rough country seat cover set that it's neoprene, but it says, and even on their website, that it only fits 1500s. And I don't know why that is, so I bought them anyway. I'm pretty sure it'll fit. I know the center console part won't fit because my truck is a complete base model. It has roll-up windows in 2005. I didn't even know that was a thing. But manual windows. But anyway, I don't know why it wouldn't fit. I've been in the 1500s and they seem to have the same seats, so I don't know why it would only fit 1500s, but it specifically says it only fits 1500s. So we're going to find out why. So I'm sure there's a lot of people maybe who are curious as to whether these will fit, and then they have to confirm, just go by what they read, and that it doesn't. So we're going to find that out and see if they actually do fit it or not. So that's that. We got wheels and tires for it. I got Pro Comp. Here, I'll bring them in right now. Okay, so here's the wheels and tires. So this is what we got. I'm gonna mount them up real quick. I got my, I have a tire machine. I'm not gonna video that because most guys don't have a tire machine anyway. And if you want to see it done, you can go to a tire shop. But anyway, I'm gonna mount these up. So these are a Pro Comp wheel. They're my favorite cheap wheel. I mean, these are aluminum. You can get them in gloss black, I think, and then satin black. And I don't know if you can get them in aluminum or not. I always buy in flat black, because it's usually just going on work trucks or something like that. And I just like them. They just kind of always look the same. Even the truck, my plow truck that burned up had these on it, and they look pretty much exactly the same still. I wouldn't trust them because they got hot. I mean, the tires completely burned off of them. And so I'm not going to use them, but they actually look good. I'm not going to sell them because I don't want someone to die because their wheels broke off because the temper is all screwed up. Those are a 16 by 8, and then these are, I believe, a 265. Yeah, 265 75 16. These are just a Thunderer. That is just a kind of a cheaper mud terrain tire. It's good enough for what I'm using it for. I don't want anything big. When you're plowing, you don't want to be trying to push snow from up high. You want to be pushing snow from down low. That's why you'll see a lot of plow trucks that are these Chevys, because they are pretty low in stock form, and they actually work better pushing snow when you're down like that. I mean, if you're pushing a rake, if you're pushing it from up here, you can't push for crap. But if you're pushing it from down here, you can push pretty good. It's the same theory. So anyway, so that's that. What else we got? Let's go take a look at the truck, and you can see what we got. Okay, here she is. Again, 2005 Silverado 2500 HD. This one is a 6-liter. And it's a NV4500, which actually shifts amazing. It's a really nice truck to drive as far as just driving around. It feels tiny compared to everything I'm used to. You know, I normally drive that big crew cab long bed lifted Ram on 38s, 37s, and so this thing just feels like an economy car. The front bumper is going to have to come off, the winch bumper or winch bar thing. That's going to have to come off. I don't believe that's going to work with the plow, unfortunately, so it loses its glasses. Hopefully it can still see. Wheels and tires are not in the best of shape. They're ugly. I think they got swapped out. One of them's even mismatched. Yeah, so it is scratched up. I don't know how much you can see. You can hear the neighbor's rooster. It's real scratched up, so I don't have to feel bad. Some of those I might have already put in it. There's taillights. This is normal when if you ever bump your taillight on these Chevys, probably pretty much anything, the outer clear part starts coming off, and that's why it does this. And then water gets back there, and it just gets worse and worse and worse over time. And it's just one of those things that happens. It is rhino lined, bull hide lined, which is nice. It is a one owner truck, but multiple drivers. These things are kind of cool. They have dual 3-inch going into a muffler that's dual 3-inch going in, dual 3-inch coming out, and then it wise down into a 3-inch tailpipe. So easy truck to do exhaust on if you just want to make it a little louder, or split it off into duals. It's duals the whole way through the entire exhaust system, double cats, you know, and then you can just replace the muffler with 2 mufflers. And then, as you can see, it's a work truck. So it does have this mount. I forget what it's called already. I don't know what it's for. Put a laptop on it, I guess. It has CB radio thing, and it's all wired still, so we have to unwire it. And there's that really odd thing that they put in these, which who would have thought they had it? That's the other thing I forgot to mention. We are going to upgrade the brake controller for a trailer. We're going to upgrade that. And then we're going to have to rewire the back end because someone cut it. They cut it when they put one of these chintzy 5 pins in it. So they cut the factory connector off, which normally you can buy if you have one of these trucks and it doesn't already have a 7-blade connector. It'll have a thing that you can just plug right in to put a 7-way connector on it. This one unfortunately has been modified, so it does not have that, so we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way and wire it in manually. So anyway, here's the truck. I'm gonna pull it in and we'll get going on doing the tune-up on it. Here we go. So I put it at 40. It was real close to 40, and then I made it worse for a second. So anyway, 40 on these 6 liters is what they say. I have a feeling, and we'll look at it when we take it out, but I'll bet you that if these are I'll bet these haven't been changed because they say they're 100,000 mile plugs. So if they were changed, they were probably changed around 100,000. So it means they have 55 on them. But we'll check them out. We'll take them out and look. But I'll bet you the gap's pretty large. The gap gets pretty large on these things because they have such power with these coils. It actually opens them up quite a bit. I'm going to put anti-seize on it. So when you're doing anti-seize on spark plugs too, make sure you don't get any on that white ceramic part. That ceramic part is an insulator, and if you get anti-seize on it, the spark actually jumps. Instead of jumping across, it jumps down it and then down across down in here. So you still may run, but it'll just have a shake, and for some reason this stuff never burns away. You can't get it to go away if you happen to do that on accident. Yeah, I mean you can get it to go away if you take the plug out and clean it, but it won't burn off naturally inside the chamber, or at least it hasn't for me. Now remember, these are aluminum heads. And luckily it's not like a 5.4 Ford where there's about 3 threads that it threads into and then they strip out every time. These ones are pretty good, but you still want to be careful being aluminum. I don't know if the 4.6s and the Fords have that same problem or not. Okay. Now for the coil. So it's gonna go sticker down on this one, on this side. Make sure the connector, before you bolt it on, make sure these connectors fit, because this is the difference. And that feels really weird, but it goes. So that's on there. That's the difference. There's two different styles it could be. And that's what the difference is that connector. And then I don't know if this is original or not. It seems like they use mismatched bolts. But it might be because this one would hit the valve cover, so I'm going to put this one up top because it does get close to the valve cover down there. We also need to scan this truck to figure out why the check engine light comes on, and what it's been coming on under, I would say, brisk acceleration, not racy acceleration. Racy acceleration, it's okay. Brisk acceleration, the check engine light comes on. Then it'll be on for the 3 key cycles and it'll go off. So we have to look and see why that is. I kind of have a feeling it has a bad oxygen sensor, or it has a misfire from those plugs just being old. Who knows? It could be anything. These already have dielectric in them. I don't know why, but these spark plug wires come with wire loom connectors, which seems silly. You know, there's nothing to loom them to. And there it is. So now I'm just going to do that 7 more times. They all are easy to get to on these things, even with AC and stuff. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to probably speed you up through the rest of it. All right, well, I found our misfires, probably also our check engine light. The rhodium part is gone. So we have a gap there on this plug. It's possible also that they didn't change this plug because it's the hardest one to get to. And they were, you know, since these are all AC Delco plugs, they appear to be the same age, but this plug, there's the difference there. So that plug's running about 125, at least 125 thousandths gap now, because the tip is missing. So you can see even on the corrector tool, that's 80 thousandths, and it has another 30 or 40 to go. So that's our little misfire that I said it had while it was sitting there running, probably. You know, and it could be that it was the hard one to get to. It's the one all the way in the back. But you always got to watch for it. The other thing, when you're doing this, if you're planning on doing this on your truck and it has 150,000, which most of these do now, I mean, shoot, I've seen these things all the way in the 300s. Plan on changing your plug wires, because the plug wires I'm taking off of here, they're probably original, so say 150,000 miles, but I mean, they're just disintegrating. Half of them, the metal part that actually clips onto here, you'll pull it off, and the metal part will still be there. They're just falling apart. They're brittle, really, really brittle. So just plan on, if you're doing them, even if you don't want to change your coils, like I say, the coils aren't going to leave you stranded somewhere. They just may cause it. You have to drive 7 cylinders to get home. So that's not that critical. But the plug wires, that's just, yeah, I mean, that's just a cheap thing that you'd be, that you don't need to mess around with, because then you start doing it, and then next thing you know, you have to go to the auto parts store. You already have your truck taken apart, and if it's your only car, that would be sucky. So anyway, I'm gonna gap the new plugs, throw those in, put the coils and stuff back on, and we'll be ready to start her back up again. All right, here it goes. Yes, that is much nicer. I turned off the AC compressor so that we didn't hear that. That's much smoother. So we definitely had a misfire, and it was probably back there on 8. We'll plug it in now. All right, so find the ODB2, which I'm assuming is right here. Okay, so it's connecting. This is an Actron. This was one of the first inexpensive scanners you could get that would do ABS. That's why I ended up with it. And I've used it ever since. I don't do a lot of this stuff. I'm not. I don't fix cars for a living, so I haven't ever upgraded. So I'm going to turn it on. You ever seen a 2005 Silverado with manual windows? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Let's see here. Oh, vehicle diagnostics. I bet that's what we want. Greater than 2000. Turn it off for 10 seconds and then turn it on. So when we do the stereo on this truck, now it's saying 2005 2500 HD 4-wheel drive 6 liter. Is this correct? Yes, it is. When we do the stereo on this truck, I am not doing the bus connector. And what that does, it would, if you had a steering wheel, it maybe would make your steering wheel work. And I say maybe because maybe. I don't know what this is asking me. Anyway, so we're not going to do the bus because the door chime, key chime, all that stuff goes through the speakers, and it's not going to work when we put that stereo in, which I'm completely okay with because I can't stand it. I hate warning beeper. I hate things that do things without me telling them to do things. It just drives me nuts. So we're not going to make that. We're not going to make that work. Okay, so it's saying that the left front wheel sensor may be going bad. The right front wheel sensor may be going bad. The mass airflow circuit may be going bad. Bank 1 system too lean. That's the left side. Bank 2 system too lean. Mass air again. Bank 1 too lean. Bank 2 too lean. So really we don't have, I don't have anything that stands out, you know, and that could be all stuff from the last 10 years. Who knows when the last time they cleared this thing is. So what we're going to do is just clear them all, and then we'll just watch for it, watch for it and see what happens. The mass airflow sensor, that could even be your air cleaner too clogged up. Always start there, and then try to clean it, and then replace it if you keep getting a code for a mass air. Don't just buy a mass air sensor because it said that right off the bat. Unless it's old, has a lot of miles, then you can do what you want. But I wouldn't do that. Having both front left and front right ABS sensor, both having a code, I'm gonna assume that someone did a big burnout or something, or something in the thing. We're gonna ignore that for now and just see if it comes back after we clear it, because I don't see any reason to start chasing that. I haven't had a problem with it since I've had it. Nothing ABS wise. So I'm erasing codes now. Yeah. So yeah, so that's that. This truck has 4 10 gears and a gov lock, which is cool. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm getting back into this. I feel like a total amateur again. I mean, not that I was very professional before, but I'm getting back into it. This was all filmed about 2 months ago, and I'm going to start editing videos to get us back up current. I haven't videoed much lately other than this time lapse that you're watching right now on the shop getting built. So the red truck videos are going to start coming out as we go. I may have Will do some magic to that thing, and then Rhino line the bottom here soon so that we can make it kind of look cool. Right now it's just It's a cool truck, but it needs help. You know, I just can't leave well enough alone. It is good right now, but I can't leave well enough alone. I kind of want to make it look a little better. So anyway, all that stuff is done to the truck. I'm going to start releasing those videos hopefully every other day or so. A new one will be coming out. And then I'm continuing on building a shop. By the end of this video, you're going to be about current to where the shop is at this point. Coming up, I'm going to be putting a 4-post lift in so I can get that Safari wagon, so we can start getting videos on the Safari wagon going again. And that should be coming up pretty soon. In the next few weeks, I'm hopefully going to be to the point where I can actually start working on that Safari wagon again. But I got to get the shop at least functional at this point. And I got to get all my signs up on the wall so I can get the scaffolding down and out of here so that we have more space. So anyway, thanks for waiting. You know, I know it was a little everything. I have never had the worst luck. I've never had worse luck in my life than I've had recently. If something bad can happen, it's happened. I've smashed the side of my Ram. Obviously, my plow truck burned up. You name it, it's happened to me. I don't know. I guess I just had way too much stuff going on, and I was rushing too much. So, but anyway, hang in there. Videos are going to start coming out, and we're going to get back on that Safari wagon here real soon. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a couple days.